Today we're talking about mastering small business expense management. If you want to improve profitability, maintain financial stability, and allocate resources strategically, then managing your expenses is essential in your business. I'm Bob DePasquale from Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices, and in this video, we're going to talk about the importance of expense management and some tips to help you do it well. The first section is the significance of expense management, and the first portion of the first section is profitability. It's pretty simple. Your bottom line matters, and understanding your expenses and managing them well directly affects your profitability. The second thing is cash flow stability. You want to make sure your cash flow is stable so you can handle your expenses, whether that's paying your employees, paying yourself, retirement plan obligations, or maybe even debt. Number 3 is resource allocation. You want to know where you're spending the money. Is it going towards your employees or towards marketing or towards inventory? This is very important to understanding how your business is running. And the last thing in this section is a competitive advantage. If you manage your expenses very well, better than your competitors, you'll be at an advantage because they're going to have similar expenses. But if you do it better, that gives you a perfect chance to get a leg up. In the second section, I'm going to mention some small business expense categories. The first thing is fixed expenses like rent, utilities, insurance, other things that are never going to change, or at least not in a long period of time. The second thing is variable expenses. Now this could be raw materials, marketing, shipping, labels, packaging, things that could potentially change. The third thing is employee-related benefits. Now I mentioned paying them and a retirement plan earlier, but there could be other benefits. It could be costs related to hiring and attracting employees, or even payroll taxes. The fourth thing is overhead expenses. This could be professional services like accounting or legal work, or it could just be office supplies. The fifth category is marketing and advertising. Now I did mention these under variable expenses because they can change, and well, they will change. But they deserve their own category because there's lots of different ways you can market and advertise your company. The sixth is travel and entertainment. If you spend time with customers and you travel a lot, you know that it can get very expensive to travel around, find places to go, and ultimately pay for food and entertainment. Okay, let's talk about some strategies for managing these expenses. The first suggestion, and this relates to personal finances, business finances, doesn't matter. Create a budget. You gotta know where every dollar is going. The second thing is getting easier and easier these days, tracking expenses. And you can do it in real time with applications. If you have a credit card, you can link it to your online account. Pretty simple to do this, but you want to make sure you do it well and then review it periodically. Number 3 is all about prioritizing and potentially cutting some expenses. Every time in your business you think about growth, you likely will add some cost to get to that point. But sometimes you can forget about the costs that you've incurred over the years, and they almost become routine. You don't want this. You want to cut the things that are unneeded. You want to be slim and trim. Number 4, another thing that can be skipped a lot, and this is negotiating with vendors. As I mentioned before, companies have variable expenses. It doesn't mean they're always going up. They can go down as well. So think about talking to the vendors that you do business with, and maybe you can get a better deal. Number 5, embrace technology. We are in a technological revolution, and I feel like we've been there for decades now, and it's not slowing down anytime soon. If there's technology out there that may cost a little bit, but save you in the long run, consider investing. Number 6 is conduct audits. Now I mentioned this in number 2 related to tracking your expenses, but it's very important to look them over and conduct specific audits and look at the return on investment for each expense. Number 7, monitor cash flow. Now we had a whole video about cash flow, but just as a reminder, you want to understand what's going in and what's going out and make sure the timing is good and as efficient as possible for your business. Number 8, we all want to have a collaborative environment, a generous environment, if you will, at our company. And each person contributes to the cost. And part of that is being cost conscious. So encourage your employees and colleagues and partners to think about what they're spending money on, and is there a more efficient way to do it? Number 9, somewhat related to number 4, negotiating with vendors, but all the contracts that you have, there should be considerable time to think about renegotiating before you get into conversations with each of the vendors or anyone else that you do business with. Make sure that they understand that you will be periodically reviewing the expense. And number 10, always seek professional guidance. Consult with people who are experts in specific areas like tax or legal and help them help you. I know that's a famous line, but if you think about it, you got to give them as much information as possible and let them know that you're relying on them to help you be as efficient as possible in your business. We live in an unpredictable environment. Doesn't matter what sector or industry your business is in. We're all dealing with it. Those variable expenses, as I mentioned, can go all over the place, but you want a competitive advantage, as I mentioned earlier. So track your cash flow, understand your expenses, and be cost conscious. And I guarantee you, your business will be primed for bigger impact. I'm Bob DePasquale from Initiate Impact Virtual Family Offices, wishing you a thriving business and a generous rest of your day.